Welcome to the dark side of Hollywood, where the glamour and glitz hide a sinister reality. Behind the red carpet and flashing cameras lies a trail of broken dreams, shattered lives, and unspeakable horrors. Tonight, we expose the lives Hollywood has destroyed and continues to destroy. From the tragic ends of fallen stars to the rampant abuse and exploitation, we'll delve into the systemic issues that perpetuate this toxic culture. The fallen stars. We remember the talented stars who shone bright but were extinguished by the cruel hand of Hollywood. Marilyn Monroe, Judy Garland, River Phoenix, and Heath Ledger, among many others, fell victim to the industry's ruthless demands and dark secrets. Their stories serve as a stark reminder of the pressures and exploitation that come with fame. In Hollywood's history, there are tragic tales of stars who rose to fame only to meet untimely and tragic ends. Icons like Marilyn Monroe, Judy Garland, River Phoenix, and Heath Ledger captured the hearts of millions but ultimately succumbed to the immense pressures and dark underbelly of the industry. Their lives serve as poignant reminders of the toll that fame and fortune can take on individuals, exposing the harsh realities of Hollywood's relentless demands and hidden cruelties. The abuse and exploitation. The Me Too movement exposed the rampant sexual abuse and harassment that has plagued Hollywood for decades. Stars like Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, and Rose McGowan bravely shared their stories of exploitation and trauma. The industry's culture of silence and complicity allowed predators like Harvey Weinstein to thrive. The Me Too movement brought to light the pervasive culture of sexual abuse and exploitation that has long plagued Hollywood. The complicity and silence that allowed predators like Harvey Weinstein to operate unchecked for years highlighted the urgent need for accountability and change. The mental health crisis. The pressure to conform and the constant scrutiny take a devastating toll on mental health. Stars like Lady Gaga, Kanye West, and Justin Bieber have spoken out about their struggles with anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts. The industry's prioritization of profit over people perpetuates a culture of silence and shame. The intense pressure to meet Hollywood's standards and the constant scrutiny from the public and media have led many stars to struggle with mental health issues. Icons like Lady Gaga, Kanye West, and Justin Bieber have been candid about their battles with anxiety, depression, and even suicidal thoughts, revealing the toll that fame and fortune can take on mental well-being. The industry's emphasis on profit and image over the well-being of its talent fosters a culture of silence and shame around mental health struggles. The systemic issues. Industry insiders reveal a culture of silence, fear, and complicity. The prioritization of profit over people perpetuates the cycle of abuse and destruction. The lack of diversity and representation perpetuates a homogeneous and toxic culture, leaving marginalized voices silenced and excluded. Insiders within Hollywood have spoken out about the toxic culture of silence, fear, and complicity that permeates the industry. The relentless pursuit of profit often comes at the expense of the well-being of artists and professionals, perpetuating a cycle of abuse and destruction. The lack of diversity and representation further exacerbates these issues, creating a homogeneous and toxic environment where marginalized voices are silenced and excluded, perpetuating a cycle of discrimination and exclusion. The culture of fear. The culture of fear in Hollywood is palpable. Stars are afraid to speak out against abuse and exploitation, fearing backlash and retaliation. The industry's power dynamics perpetuate a culture of silence and complicity, allowing predators to thrive. The pervasive culture of fear in Hollywood stifles voices and prevents many stars from speaking out against abuse and exploitation. Fear of backlash, retaliation, and career repercussions silences those who may have witnessed or experienced misconduct. The imbalance of power within the industry perpetuates a culture of silence and complicity, enabling predators to operate with impunity and further perpetuating a toxic environment. The impact on marginalized communities. The impact of Hollywood's toxic culture on marginalized communities is devastating. The lack of representation and opportunities perpetuates a cycle of exclusion and discrimination. The industry's failure to address these issues perpetuates a culture of racism, sexism, and homophobia. The toxic culture within Hollywood has a disproportionate impact on marginalized communities. The lack of representation and opportunities for individuals from diverse backgrounds perpetuates a cycle of exclusion and discrimination. Hollywood's failure to address these systemic issues perpetuates a culture of racism, sexism, and homophobia, further marginalizing underrepresented voices and contributing to a hostile environment for many within the industry. The role of social media. Social media has changed the game in Hollywood, but it's also perpetuated the toxic culture. The constant scrutiny and pressure to conform have taken a toll on mental health. The spread of misinformation and gossip has also contributed to the culture of fear and silence. The rise of social media has brought both opportunities and challenges to Hollywood. While it has provided a platform for stars to connect with fans and share their stories, it has also intensified the constant scrutiny and pressure to conform. The spread of misinformation, gossip, and online harassment has further contributed to the culture of fear and silence, creating additional challenges for those in the spotlight. The power of speaking out. The power of speaking out cannot be overstated. Stars like Rose McGowan, Ashley Judd, and Tarana Burke have bravely shared their stories, inspiring others to do the same. The Not Me Too movement has sparked a cultural shift, holding predators accountable and creating a culture of accountability. Despite the challenges, the power of speaking out against abuse and exploitation cannot be understated. Brave voices like Rose McGowan, Ashley Judd, and Tarana Burke have shared their stories, inspiring others to come forward and demand accountability. The Sex Me Too movement has sparked a cultural shift, holding predators accountable and creating a culture of transparency and accountability within the industry. The need for change. The need for change in Hollywood is urgent. The industry must prioritize the well-being of artists and professionals, creating a culture of support and resources. The lack of diversity and representation must be addressed, creating opportunities for marginalized communities to thrive. The urgent need for change within Hollywood is clear. The industry must prioritize the well-being and safety of its artists and professionals, fostering a culture of support, transparency, and resources. Addressing the lack of diversity and representation is essential to creating a more inclusive and equitable industry where all voices are heard, valued, and given opportunities to thrive. As we shine a light on the dark side of Hollywood, we must remember that change begins with awareness and action. By standing together, demanding accountability, and fostering a culture of inclusivity and respect, we can create a safer, more supportive, and equitable industry for all.